Hey guys, so Apple has now officially released iOS 26.2, and in today's video we're going to go over everything that's new within this latest update for the iPhone. Now I do have two devices here. One is running the previous iOS 26.1, and of course this iPhone 17 Pro Max is running iOS 26.2. I wanted to share the comparison here with you guys because I want to start off with animations as well as changes to Liquid Glass, because I feel these are going to be some of the changes that you'll notice immediately after navigating the OS. So let me show you the new animations, which, by the way, in my opinion, I feel like they're slightly faster the way that Apple made animations this time around. So if I tap on any menu here, so let's say I tap on this menu here, take a look at the animation as it flows out of the menu. Very Liquid Glass effect like, very similar to what Apple shared with us at WWDC. So the animation flows out very Liquid Glass effect like, and you see right there, it looks really cool, and to me it feels even faster. Let me show you iOS 26.1 here, for example. So let's go into the animations here. Let's tap on the menu. You see there's sort of slower and flatter animation, as you can see right there. Again, no Liquid Glass animation effect whatsoever with iOS 26.1. Once again, 26.2, let me show you that animation once again, and this translates over to all the menus and controls throughout the OS, and it just feels a lot smoother and nicer to navigate the OS this way. Now there's also some updates happening to animations for the Measures application. So if we go into the Measures application here, iOS 26.1, you see the bubbles there. Here's 26.2, we have the Liquid Glass bubbles and effect going on here, which I think look pretty cool, and again, it just flows a lot better, and to me it just makes the OS feel more alive and slightly faster. Now in terms of Liquid Glass, there's also some changes happening here. So if we go to the lock screen here on iOS 26.2, you now have a new option to customize the actual look of Liquid Glass with iOS 26.2. So you have a second scrubber here that if you go all the way to the right, you get tinted glass. If you go all the way to the left, you get that Liquid Glass effect full on. So yeah, you can now change the opacity or intensity of that Liquid Glass on the lock screen clock. Obviously something not previously possible with previous versions of iOS. So yeah, in terms of animations, I feel like they're slightly faster, they look a lot nicer, a lot smoother, and you can now customize Liquid Glass on the lock screen clock with iOS 26.2. Now there's also two revisions that I wanted to talk about here. One has to do with Apple Music and lyrics. You can now enjoy Apple Music lyrics offline, starting with iOS 26.2. Now the second revision has to do with the health application, specifically sleep scores. Apple has changed sleep scores to better reflect those numbers in order to give you a more accurate sleep score. So those two revisions, Apple Music offlines and some revisions to sleep scores, are now live with iOS 26.2. Reminders are now getting a big update with iOS 26.2. So when you set a reminder, you can now set it as urgent, and you can get an alarm, you can snooze it from the lock screen and stay reminded by rescheduling directly from the lock screen with the live activity. The way this works is you head on over to the reminders application. So let's say you want to go ahead and set a reminder here. Let's go ahead and set a reminder, iOS 26.2, and I can now go ahead and tap here on the I, and I can set it as urgent, and as you can see right there, I can now set a time in order to have that alarm go off with the reminder in order to get reminded directly from the lock screen. And again, you get a really nice animation on the lock screen. When that reminder goes off, you can snooze or slide to stop, and you also get the live activity on the lock screen, as you can see right there, to reschedule that reminder. Now iOS 26.2 will also bring some minor changes to the news application, specifically the layout. So on the top here we have different categories now, and on the bottom of the screen some of these options have been rearranged, and search is a little broader now. It's a lot easier to navigate search as well. Now in terms of Freeform, the Freeform application for iPhone has also received new table updates. Now I don't use this application, but these are some of the new changes happening to Freeform with iOS 26.2 as well. Now with iOS 26.2, Apple also added two additional updates to notifications. So head on over into notifications on your iPhone after updating to iOS 26.2. If you scroll all the way to the bottom in notifications, you have the enhanced safety alerts. This will allow you to enable alerts for earthquake, imminent threats, and you can also help Apple improve the service as well. So yeah, new safety alerts or enhanced safety alerts are now available with this new software update. If we head on over into the accessibility section and we go into the audio and and visual, we now also get some new updates happening here. So right there, audio and visual, scroll down, flash for alerts. This one has also been updated, and you now have the ability to use the LED flash for those notification alerts, and you can also use your iPhone screen for notification alerts, or both. You have the option to use both, and as you can see right there, you can use it while the iPhone is locked or in silent mode. So yeah, additional options for flash alerts, which you can now use again, screen alongside the LED flash on the back on your device. So yeah, some changes happening here to notifications and alerts delivery and things like that, which I really like. Now, Apple has also added some new changes to AirDrop. So if you go into settings, general, go under AirDrop, you now have a manage known AirDrop contact. This allows you to send a one-time code to a known AirDrop contact in order to share files for a 30-day period. Now, I can't get this one to work properly. For some reason, I think this is still a work in progress, but the idea will be, let's say you go on a business trip and you don't want to add someone to your contacts list, you can add them to your AirDrop contacts, and for 30 days you can share files. Again, still kind of a work in progress, but something that's new here with iOS 26.2. And last but not least, for EU customers, Apple has now enabled live translation. So if you have AirPods compatible with live translation, you can go in settings here on your iPhone, and once you go into your AirPods settings on your device, you'll be able to select the language for the translation or live translation feature available for AirPods. Again, for EU customers, under language right here, you can download the language, and by pressing on both AirPods stems at the same time, you can start that live translation feature, now available within iOS 26.2. And there you guys have it. These are some of the latest changes happening with iOS with the latest iOS 26.2. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.